simply start by showing you that I have a card already selected, and I just want to go through and just have you touch any card. It really does not matter. Let's say you choose this one, so we'll just take it out and lay it on the table. Now here's the thing, you could have chose literally any card in the deck, and I have one sitting up here, but you chose this one right here. Now before we reveal your card, I just want to show you the card that I had laying up here the entire time. It's the King of Diamonds, and you chose the King of Hearts, the two red kings in the deck. What is up, folks? Jorge Nito here. Thanks for coming over. Welcome back. Welcome back to my channel, a channel devoted to promoting a Christian worldview and sleight of hand card magic with a special concentration on utility moves. From time to time, you'll see routines, effects that I teach, but for the most part, you'll just see a bunch of utilities, right? Card controls, card switches, forces, just all kind of stuff, even color changes, which is technically a utility because you can incorporate it in your effect. And I've always had a soft spot for the utility moves, just because, you know, it could be argued that how you use your utility moves in your effect, you know, they really can make or break the effect. So depending on how you use them. So yeah, guys, today we have another card force. Yesterday we did the Hop Force Harry Lorraine move. I got all fumbling around and couldn't remember whose move that was. It was Harry Lorraine. I quoted the Ecpert Card Technique as a possibility. I said that I would, you know, eventually look it up, and so I ended up just blasting it on the thumbnail. A Harry Lorraine move. You know, mistake, no mistake made. This is a Harry Lorraine move. Today is the one from Ecpert Card Technique. Kinda. So many people have different work on this move. It's a drop switch, but we're using it as a force. I'm just going to call it the drop force. So let's get into it right now. This is such a beautiful force. And yeah, like I said, you could, you know, this also maps over to switches and card controls, but yeah, we're going to use it as card force. That effect you saw at the beginning was just an off the cuff, just off the top of my head effect, way that I could demonstrate this card force. I just had the red king sitting out here, and I have my force card on top. And so you go through and you just ask the spectator just to touch, just to reach out and touch any card they want as you spread through the deck. Let's say they go right here, and you really take that card out of the deck, the one that they said stop, and you drop it on the table. And so the first thing I always like to do, it's going to get switched out for this top card. I don't want to show this yet. I just kind of want to play around with the idea that, yeah, you know, they could have chosen any card. They landed on this one, and I do this dropping technique where I bring the hands together for a second and just drop. And it's really a common thing you see, right? It's nothing special. I didn't switch out this card, but I say, you know, you could have landed anywhere. This is the one you chose, and then that's when I come in for the switch. And for the second time, I'm going to come in for the switch, and it's at that point where I switch the card out. I did it really slow so you could kind of catch, so you can follow along. And so anyway, that's kind of what it looks like. It's kind of simple. The mechanics are simple. It's easy to understand, but this is a challenge to really get down. But if you spend time with it and just practice it over and over, this looks absolutely beautiful and gorgeous, and you could use it for so many other things. Guys, I would suggest that you really spend time. Maybe you already know this. It took me a long time to get it to the place where I feel comfortable today, and there's still improvements that I could make. But nonetheless, I was anxious and wanted to share this with you. So yeah, it's very simple. So we'll force the King of Diamonds, Daniel Snyder. This is a Terry Addy deck, the Twisted Artistry. I've reviewed these before. Card of Monday, old school Fat Boy stock. He still has some of these over at twistedartistry.com. They're about $15 a deck. And they handle beautifully. Daniel Snyder was the designer on this deck. Borderless Bleed. So yeah, anyway, this is Daniel Snyder right here, designer of the deck. Okay, so you're going to force King of Diamonds. You just say, I want you to touch one card as I spread through these cards, right? And let's say it doesn't matter what they touch. But it's important to see that whatever card that they touched is the one that they see coming out and landing on the table. It's at this point where, you don't have to do this first action where you just drop the card regularly. I just like to do that to condition them. That way it doesn't look suspicious when I actually do the switch, right? So you don't have to do that though. But basically you want to get a break on the top card, your force card, however which way you want to do that. Maybe you want to come down with your hand, get you a pinky break and come up, and there it is. But here's what's happening. You're bringing these hands together and you're actually getting this card in this fatty area right here, only to let go of this bottom card as you bring that card in. This sounds really complicated, and guys, it's not really easy, but it does look beautiful once you get it down. You have your pinky break, and here's the thing. You could kind of practice bringing the hands together and just dropping the card, just practicing what this would naturally look like, right? So, and I always do a wrist kill when I come down. That's going to help change that card out a little bit easier. So you want the switch card, the force card, to always land in the position that this card would if you just drop it. So you want it to land right here somewhere. And so the easiest thing that I have found is when I come in with the hands, I get this kind of like this straight edge of the card right here in this fatty area, right? And once I do that, I begin to drop this card out and wrist kill. And I bring this hand down like right here, like it looks like I'm just dropping this card down. It's just getting the timing of it and everything right. The perfect angle is going to be to the left, but it's going to work right here if you get really fast and good at it. But yeah, it's as simple as that, guys. And we'll do it one more time. You get you a pinky break under your force card. You just practice bringing the hands together and then dropping their card. You don't even have to switch it. Just get used to this action. And once you have that action, you can practice dropping this card. Right, so just go through the deck and just practice dropping these cards right here. And so when you bring them together, that's what it should look like. So guys, yeah, this was the one that's actually an Ecpert Card Technique. It's called the Throw Top Change. They also have a drop switch. Yeah, Armando Lucero, he does it sometimes. I think everybody has some variation. In fact, when there's a color change that I did a long time ago and featured on the channel where I used that to switch out, a face-up card, and it's a really cool color change. So guys, there you have it. That's the second force. Force 1 was yesterday, the hot force. Today's force, the drop force, and stay tuned for tomorrow. A very special force. One that I'm really nervous because it's today's was kind of intense. At least it is for me. It could be easier for you, but tomorrow, man, just hopefully my fingers are exercised and stretched out and all that, because it's a doozy, but it is really beautiful. Stay tuned at the last final Saturday of this month, because that will be releasing the giveaway, the details, how to enter, taking a look at the prizes, announcing the special collaboration effort. Guys, I want to thank you for joining me along this ride. Have a great weekend. Jorge Anito here signing off. God bless.